All right. Welcome to this Crystallize live stream. My name is Bård, and we have today Vasil, lead frontend at Crystallize, with us.
Hello, everyone.
And today we are going to talk about how to extend Crystallize with AI capabilities using AI. So that's a recursive one for you. But let's jump straight into it, right?
Yeah.
And what we have built is essentially, so it's a side-by-side view in Crystallize. So here you have editing of one product. And as you can see here, we have some content, and some content is missing. For example, the meta. What if we would have somebody that could
do it for us?
Yeah. Generate this meta information. Make it bold. Yeah, that was a very bad prompt, but that's not the point.
Exactly.
So now we're just asking the LLM to have the context of this product and come with an update. And here we don't have a current anything current in the metadata, and here it generated some data for the title and the description. That's what we're talking about, and you can use this both to generate content, translate obviously, but also if you want to, let's take the description, and we'll do like this. We'll just do description and say, yeah, make it sound more premium, or add bullet points. Like this. Yeah. We can also say use emojis, because then it's more visible. So the whole, yeah.
Kind of wanted to say that in the two, we're going to see what we have currently on the left and what's new on the right. Yeah, over there.
Exactly. So it's cool stuff, right? So it's just to get some AI into your workflow, and of course this is one example, and you probably have other ideas for what you want to use an AI agent for, and the point of this here is to talk about, okay, we have open sourced this here, so this is the AI sidebar, and this is essentially being vibe coded. So what we've done is we have created a skill for making side-by-side apps in Crystallize. And maybe we can start with, okay, side-by-side apps, how does that work? And Vasil?
Yeah, I can cover this part. So the side-by-side views, as Bård said, what it's in practical this for Crystallize, these are custom views that you can configure in Crystallize. And the way that it works is that we have the custom view kind of in usually in a side-by-side view, where we render the custom view in an iframe that you provide the URL. And the way that it works, we have some communication established between the Crystallize app UI and the iframe by posting messages, exchanging messages between the two. And what you see here on the screen in the diagram is really the way that it works. So when the app renders in Crystallize, there is a handshake that is done between the app and the iframe. The app says, "I'm ready," and then the Crystallize app listens for any messages that we send. So the way that it works, when the iframe renders, we pass what's the item ID, what's the language. We have kind of a set of predefined parameters that we bake in the URL, and then the app can use that information. And based on the information, the AI can, for example, fetch the item, render the shape, a lot of things, or we can do it ourselves. And then when then we manipulate the data on the server, and before closing or when we are ready, we can just say to the app UI, kind of update the content on this page. And when we pull the new data, we get to see actually what it was generated on the other side. That's kind of the simple way that it works. And there are a bunch of messages that can be exchanged between the two, but in this example, this is the one that you see at the bottom that says refetch item components, for example.
And the cool thing about this is also, okay, so how do you get started? And essentially, so we have a skill, which is a description of how you can build generic apps in Crystallize. So this is basically a description for the agent to, you know, as you said, talked about how the parameters work, what are the placeholders, what's the app signal, handshake, all of those things in terms of how the let's say the wrapping works, how does the scaffolding work. So that's one part. And what I did was basically use that and asked Claude to help me define a project. Now, what is a project? So this is typically, at least how I like to start with building for, let's go back again, when I'm using Claude to build, because now we're trying to create a specific description. I guess we're above the thing there. Yeah. But you're asking, let's create a project file and let's describe what we're going to do, describe the functionality, etc. So that's usually how we start, and you just give that to Claude, and it builds essentially the project for you. We're not going to do that live, as it says, as it takes some minutes. So you can rather play with that yourself. And so it's both the skill here about how this works, and we combine this also with the Crystallize MCP. So the MCP is essentially, it's the interface for agents to talk to Crystallize, and it has capabilities of fetching data, data schemas, and also got the skills, which is basically information on how Crystallize works, what APIs exist, how do I validate data, how do you model data, how do I build queries, etc. And this MCP server, you can run several places, for example, in Claude. So let's check it. So what can you do? Last 10 orders from tenant furniture. Not even a complete sentence. So what it's doing now is calling the Crystallize MCP because it's installed here and it's aware. Furniture wasn't found. Could you double check it? That was a great example because I typed it wrong. But that's also valid because you need to have a valid tenant if you're going to ask for data. So
exactly.
Let me move us up here actually, and then
that was a good catch actually, because the two tenants are kind of close. You didn't match any of those.
Yeah. So it basically enables the agent to talk to Crystallize using the APIs via the MCP, and you can do stuff like what shapes are in the furniture tenant. So you can, ask it about context. And this is, of course, being also given then to the agent that we are building as the side-by-side, AI tool that we just built. So it's both got the information on how to build a plugin, so what we call side-by-side app, and also got access to actually working with and manipulating data in Crystallize. You can use that in Claude, you can use it in VS Code, you can also use it in our Flare tool, if you haven't checked it out, flare.crystallize.com. where you can do stuff like, let me do the same here. Can you summarize my 20 last orders? Difference here is that we've added some visualization layer on top of this. And basically, you can talk to Crystallize. You don't have to navigate and find stuff and search and all of those things. So that's the point with the MCP.
Yeah.
All right.
Just wanted to say that here in Flare also we have the context of the tenant set once, and then all the questions you ask or everything you do is already in the context of that tenant. So things are locked and easy to work with.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, it's got other skills, like, for example, if you want to build queries like get my last 10 cards, you're probably wondering which API should I use? How can I make the query? And then you get the data out. So as a developer, it gives you superpowers. And the same happens if you give it to the agent, you get superpowers. And I don't think we necessarily need to look at the details of the project. It's a pretty simple app with some API routes, and basically it's one view, right? Because it's kind of a one-pager. And basically you can use this setup, create a project file, or just ask Claude to please create this app for Crystallize, and it will basically generate a whole project for you. And again, if you look at what we achieved here with this example, which again is open sourced and available if you want to check it out, this is essentially giving the editorial user superpowers in terms of having both the Crystallize context and the capabilities of Claude, so that you can generate content, improve content. It could be, ensuring brand consistency, tone of voice, all of those things you can manage. And the idea here is that you can, of course, use this app with Crystallize, or you can make your own. And this is kind of a teaser to what we're also going to launch at our conference in June this year, because then we're launching the plugins in Crystallize, and those will, of course, also be very easy to vibe code. So you can have Claude build plugins, as you can do with app and side-by-side views today. So I guess that's the wrap. Maybe we can mention, once you have it running, you just install it as a custom, as a URL with an app. There's some handshake and some headers that you need to validate, tenant secret, right? Other than that, it's pretty much plug and play. Pretty quick to get up and running, and I think it was like half an hour, a little bit more, it took to build this app here with Claude.
I think the most important is to have the idea what you want to achieve, and then describe it, and everything else just happens behind the scene, which is quite amazing.
And the better description, the better first shot you're going to have. So I guess that's it. You can check it out. Both the code for this, and also right now we just made the skill available here. This will be later part of our generic skills, but you can just point Claude to this file here, and it has the instructions it needs. It can also check out the full repo if you want to have some of the same features, like communication with Anthropic and Claude and all of those things. That's it for this one. We'll do another one next week. Not sure if it will be powered by AI. We will see. Like and subscribe, as they say, if you want to get notified. Thanks for watching.
Bye.